What's poppin' and welcome back to I Do It Myself. So, yo, happy Wednesday. Let's talk about the elephant on the net. Nah, just with me. A lot of y'all express y'all not let me say not discomfort. What would be the word? The disagreeing that y'all have with me because of the academic situation. Let me explain to y'all in context because as my viewers, I do owe that to y'all. Y'all are the ones that have been rooting me on since last May when we started. Y'all are the ones that every time I reach a new plateau, y'all salute me for it, and y'all are the ones that push me. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about it. I didn't put the clip on the last video because I thought that the clip was so like ridiculous and everybody had already heard it that I didn't want to have that on my channel. Now, two, do I condone any type of actions like that? Absolutely not. When it comes to academics, everybody believes that we have this like relationship that we actually don't have. So when y'all saying, "Oh, you tiptoeing around because that's your man," or morals over business, I don't do no business with academics. Even when we was on Everyday Struggle, I never did no business with him. I got a fee to be on there, and he got a fee to be on there. We didn't do business together, and we were paid by Complex. For myself, it gets a little bit frustrating that every time that something goes on with him in the public, because I did a show with him for 3 years, that people think that I'm the person or I'm the voice of reason. Have there been times where Ak has, done certain things in the public and I hit him about it? Yeah. Did I get a response? Absolutely not. Me and Ak don't talk like that. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a nice idea for people to think that we do, but we don't. We talk not at all. The last time we talked was during the Kendrick and what's that? The Kendrick and Drake beef when it first popped off. He put me on his stream. I talked about it a little, helped me out, got me some subs or whatever on my Twitch. But ultimately, like what people think it is not. Now, again, I owe this to my viewership to explain to y'all in the context of why going forward, I want to stop covering certain shit, even pertaining towards his name. When it comes to the internet, I'm always, when I first got on Everyday Struggle, all I had to hear about was no Joe, no show. You ain't Joe Button. You'll never be Joe. You'll never have this. You'll never do that. When it came to Everyday Struggle breaking up, well, not breaking up, but them ending it, it was, oh, what are you going to do? You ain't never going to have nothing. You ain't. And let me tell you something. I've done great things and made tons of money before that and after that. So for me to continuously have to be put in this space where I'm like this nigga's hallway monitor or something, it frustrates me because y'all never seen me act in the way that he acts. Even when we was on the same show together. I think that contrast is one of the reasons why I was able to be on the show for as long as I have. Now, again, when it comes to how he's been operating, do I agree with it? Nah. But I'm not going to make my channel into this is what I think about Akademiks channel. I want to talk about various things. I'm actually building out, I keep telling y'all about this set that I'm building out. It's almost done. But for me to stream, like kind of like Stephen A. Smith does, where I could talk about various things that's going on. And it's not just this one subject or that subject, or I got to be compelled to feel like I got to make this amount of videos in order to garner some attention. I really want to talk with y'all and I like to engage. So with that being said, going forward, I'm not going to be covering a lot of stuff regarding academics because, again, I'm not going to turn this into a what Wayno thinks about Akademiks channel. The things that he does, I don't fuck with. And because some of the things that he does, I don't fuck with, I choose to stay out of it. You know what I'm saying? Now, with me saying that I stay out of it, it turns into this is what Diddy and this is R. Kelly. Nah, it's not that at all. You talking about people who was literally around these niggas, like literally chilling with them, working with them, hanging with them every day, that seen things happen, that didn't speak up or didn't call the police versus a person that don't even live in the same state nor be around. I seen a lady who does my feet at the salon more than I seen academics in the past 5 years, and I don't even get my feet done that much. So that should just tell you about how much we talk or converse. I hope that's enough for y'all to understand that Wayno is doing his own thing. Y'all see this merch? I've been working hard on this shit. I'm saying I've been working hard on it because I want y'all to buy it. But aside from that, like I said, thank you to my viewers for expressing your concerns. We're gonna keep it rocking. Now today, we're talking about ASAP Rocky and his situation with this case. So ASAP Rocky, in 2021, right? He was charged with firing a gun at a former friend, ASAP Relli. So ASAP was not a group, it's a collective, right? And that collective had people who did music, you had people who did fashion, you had people who did art, you had people who A&R'd, you had people that just was hanging around. And I mean, shouts out to all of them collectively, and rest in peace to Yams. But this situation, ASAP Relli, was Relli the DJ? I can't remember who Relli was exactly. Gotta keep in mind, a lot of these dudes are from Harlem, but they also 10, 12 years younger than me. So when they came out, I didn't never meet a lot of them. I did meet 12 and salute to 12. I ain't talking to 12 man. I hope he's good. But the opening statements, this is reported from Associated Press. The opening statements at the Los Angeles trial for the 36-year-old hip-hop star and fashion maven will begin on Friday after the jurors and 4 incidents were sworn in. Okay, so Rocky is charged with shooting or firing a gun at a former friend. Rocky turned down a prosecution plea offer of 180 days in jail to risk years in prison if the jurors find him guilty on 2 felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm. He has pleaded not guilty, and his lawyer says he committed no crime. So the tough thing about this is that there's so many people that saying, yo, Rocky should have took the 4 months. He should have took that 180 days. This is what he should have did. This is what he should have leaned into. And all of those people believe that he's guilty. Do I believe that he's guilty? I can't say I believe he's guilty. I'm just keeping it 100. I will say that this shit looks very bad. It looks very bad. I mean, you get the video, because I didn't see, what they said. It was a flag. I didn't really watch like the entire video. I seen the part where they was arguing, right? And it looks like he has a firearm in his hand. Now his defense is that's a prop gun. And they're like, well, why would you be carrying a prop gun? Now, I don't know the medical records or the police reports if he went to the hospital, if Relli went to the hospital after the situation. And after the situation happened, it's proven that he's been shot with a gun, because they're saying that he was grazed. Now, I've been grazed before, too. There's different levels of being grazed with a firearm. You know what I mean? I'll tell that story about me getting grazed in my hand, actually, when I was a teenager, another time. But if I showed you my hand today, you can't even tell, right? Even back then when I showed you my hand, maybe a couple of days later, you couldn't really tell. So I don't know how close this was, you know what I mean, or what the proximity was. Then they say that he was firing up in the air. But if it was a prop gun, why would he be firing at all, or firing in the air if the gun is not real? If it's a prop, props don't shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like, but this shit is just all crazy. But listen, Relli, they at trial right now and shit, and Relli has gotten on the stand, and let's watch that so we can talk a little bit more about how I feel regarding this situation.
At me, and then that's when Elijah was like in between, and he's like, "I'll kill you right now, pussy," or like whatever, like just was. And then I'm right behind Elijah, and I'm saying, "If you brought a gun, use it then." Like, the fuck you brought a gun for, pussy? That's the words I was saying to him.
When you said he pointed it at you, where on your body was it pointing?
Like towards my stomach, like towards like my headish a little. Like everything was happening so fast. So fast, you know what I mean?
And from what you're describing, was it moving?
Yeah, it was moving. He had it up.
Okay, so he didn't just hold it at your stomach. It was kind of
no. He was looking for a spot to shoot.
Okay.
Like if Elijah wasn't there, I don't know what would have happened.
And you said as he was pointing it at you, what did he say?
I'll kill you right now.
And was that in an angry tone?
Yeah, he was livid.
Was his voice elevated? Like, was he yelling this at you, or was this something he was saying quiet?
Yeah, because we was yelling back and forth at this point.
All right. And you said that after he pointed the gun at you, you became angry, correct?
Yeah, I became furious.
So what did you say back to him?
I told him to use it.
Why?
Because mentally, like, I couldn't believe he just pulled the gun out on me. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you better use that shit. What the fuck you got a gun for?
Can you explain, I want, as best you can to the jury, explain to them what you mean by, I can't believe you just pulled a gun on me. What is that? What do you mean by that?
Like, I physically cannot believe there was a gun in my face. Like, that was the breaking point for me. Because like what I said, I told this kid numerous times, if you have a problem with me, let me know. You know what I mean? I feel like this got to the max. Like, this was like no return. So, if I was willing to die for my respect at this point, I don't care. You get what I'm saying? Like, if this is what you want to do, I still have my dignity. That's how I felt.
Let me tell y'all. So I've had friends, right? I had a friend, and well, not had a friend. One of my friends, he got shot when we was younger, right? And when he got shot, my friend, he from the street. Like, we all was in the street when we was younger. So he was faced with this decision, right? Like, on one hand, you got all your homies like, nah, you ain't like, we gonna handle dude when we, you know what I mean? Like, you got that mentality, right? And then you got his moms, and his moms is like, I ain't trying to hear nothing about what your friends is talking about. I don't care what they talking about. Your friends is not your mother. I'm your parent. I take care of you. You are going to cooperate with the police and tell them who it was that shot you. And I remember having a conversation with him, and having this conversation, he was like a little bit conflicted, but ultimately he never said anything, right? He never said nothing about the person who had shot him, who tried to take his life. Now, there's so many people who get in these situations, and of course, we have tons of people that say, "Oh, well, they ASAP." I mean, he shouldn't be he shouldn't be doing this. But if that's his friend or was his friend at one point in time, and he felt betrayed by this friend, and vice versa, right? Like, there was a situation that occurred. That's something that Rocky cannot deny because he's on camera. But there was a situation that occurred at the point where his friend is going after him the way he is. It makes me wonder, right? Like, how people feel about that, because for him, that's a decision that he got to make. Nobody can make that decision for him. He could have easily been like, nah, I'm not going to say nothing. And then he could have just tried to get to Rocky. But chances are you're not never going to get around him again. But he's also, I think they're saying that he's pursuing a civil suit, which a civil suit is about money, pain and suffering. But I just don't know how this shit is going to go. You know what I mean? I don't know what Rocky did or didn't do. I just know that it looks bad. And I know that for him to be 36 years old and facing 24 years in prison, man, that's majority of his foreseeable future. You know what I'm saying? That's his kid. He has 2 young kids. If this doesn't go his way, it's gonna go bad. But he's innocent until proven guilty. And the thing about the law is not about the truth, it's about what you can prove. So I'm no expert. I'm not one of them people that read through the court cases and start telling you I know exactly what everything means. I'm not. I've literally seen a person who sat on the stand, pointed out one of my friends and everything, and gave them details about something that allegedly happened, get proven to not be guilty. Like, my friend was proven not guilty in an attempted murder case. So, I mean, these things are just kind of crazy. You know what I mean? It makes me wonder about decision making, because I don't know what the situation with them is even over, but I'm pretty sure it's something that could have been ironed out way easier than this. But I think that going forward, we're going to see so many more situations and so many more instances in life, right? Where when people get into these situations with their friends or other people, just be prepared. If you get into a fight with somebody, or if you pull a gun, you pull a knife, anything you pull, count on going to jail. Don't even second guess it. Don't think that you could get away with anything. There's too much technology in this world as of right now. It's too many cameras. It's too many people with camera phones. It's too many Ring cameras. This is not back in the 70s. And there's a lot of people that went to jail in the 70s for committing crimes. So first and foremost, I think, and this is not just for Rocky, but just other people in general, got to learn conflict resolution. I remember they was trying to teach me conflict resolution when I was like in the 7th grade, because I got into a fight with this kid. And the reason why I got into this fight is because I was a new kid in a school that I was in Maryland. All these kids was messing with me. Like, every single one of them, they was making fun of me because how I talk, how I dress, how I play basketball. Like, they used any type of way that they could fuck with me, they did it. And I got to a boiling point where I was just ready to fight everybody. And they was saying to me, like, well, why did you fight? I'm like, because I'm in a situation where my back's against the wall. Y'all don't understand what I'm going through on the bus every morning. Y'all don't understand what I'm going through on the bus going home. Y'all don't understand when I'm playing in a basketball game and nobody wants to pass me the ball because I'm the New York kid that nobody likes. You feel me? So we got to learn conflict resolution, and I think we should teach our kids that. You know what I'm saying? But this is a whole different scenario situation. I mean, I wish the best for both parties. You know what I mean? I hope that there's some sort of closure that could come out of this. I mean, I hope that Rocky doesn't get convicted or something like this. But, if he did harm his friend, then it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? If they could prove that he harmed his friend And you got to ask yourself, if he did do something like this, in the situation you in where you are in a relationship with one of the biggest megastars of all time, you are a rap star, you know what I'm saying? You are in movies, you're in fashion, you're in all these different things. If he is proven for something like this, what the hell was you thinking? Like, why do people be thinking that they're invincible? That, you know, it can't be them. Like you could just do something if that's the case. But if it's not the case, also, why the hell was you playing around with a fake gun? If it was a fake gun, like it's too many things in this situation that just look goofy all around the board. You know what I mean? And a lot of this shit can be avoided if we learn how to just talk to one another. If you learn how to just tell somebody, yo, that shit you said or that shit you did hurt my feelings. This is how I do it myself. For the ones that rock me, you know how we doing. For the ones that don't, you eventually will. Check out the merch. Let me move the mic right quick. You know what I mean? Check out the merch. You know what I'm saying? This is coming in a few weeks. This is a sample. We're gonna have a little bit more details when it comes to it. We got t-shirts, crew neck sweaters, eventually hoodies, fitteds, flags. It's gonna be so many different things that I'm gonna do and I'm gonna create, because this is one of the means that I'm making to get y'all to support this channel more than y'all already do. And like I said, I appreciate y'all for being honest with me. I'll catch y'all on Friday.